Hi guys, it's Vera Sweeney from Lady and the Blog, and I wanted to talk a little bit about our first full week budgeting as a family and trying to really account for every single dollar that we spend, recognizing the bills that we own, and how absolutely horrifying it was. So if you're somebody that is thinking about starting budgeting and sitting at home and watching countless videos and really feeling absolutely overwhelmed, I just wanted to do a video as somebody who literally is starting 2020 on week 1 from scratch and who made it. Who made it with a little bit of money to spare. We do have, tonight we're gonna order pizza, so we do have some time left, so I'm not saying that I'm out in the clear yet. I might come to zero by the end of it all, but I do still wanna show you how I split up my budget planner and in what ways I decided to keep track of it in an attainable and manageable way for me. So the planner that I decided on was this Blue Sky Noteworthy planner. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit nutso, and I went on Canva and I just sort of developed my version of worksheets, and I'm still tinkering with them a bit because I wanted them in a certain way for me personally, and I think I'm just gonna use what I'm creating moving forward. But for now, the way that I had this set up really actually did work. So if you're not somebody that wants to do that, or if you're not somebody that wants to print out a million things, this actually worked out. So what I did for the monthly view for each month is I decided to take each day and write down what I spent every day. Now there's a lot of people that have no spend days, and no spend days mean that you literally do not spend $1. That will never, ever, ever be for me, ever. I am somebody that will always get a tea. I need a tea every single morning. It used to be from Starbucks, which was $4, and now I've switched over to Dunkin' Donuts because it's $2.80. But regardless, I'm still gonna get my tea, and I'm still gonna budget for it. And the beauty of budgeting is that you figure it out. That's really important to me. And a lot of people are like, that's not what saving money is about. I will not buy clothes all year over the tea. That's how important me having my morning tea is for me. I work 12 hours straight. I am heads down in my computer, in my house, all alone. That tea is symbolic to me. It is the jump start of my day. I need it. There's just no way around it. So I will never have a no spend day, and I am okay with that. But when you do this this way, you're basically seeing how many days you can go without spending money. You can see how many days you can have a really great day. Maybe you only spend $2, maybe you only spend $4. It's almost like a game. In the end, it's really a challenge. Like, it feels like a fun thing that I'm doing. And in order for me to do stuff, it has to feel fun. So the calendar view is fun. And then at the end of the week, I sort of tally up what my total is. So, you know, that's just an easy way for me at the end of the month to just tally down what I spent the entire month. All right, so on my next page, I sort of listed out my bills and my expenses, and that's all there is to it. I have the page split in half, and I have my reoccurring bills only. So I don't have the variables. I don't have the random, grass bill that comes every 4 months that I wasn't expecting because he only bills me whenever he feels like it, and that's true. My my maintenance people, they're not on any sort of system, so all of a sudden we'll get a bill and it's 6 months worth of work, or maybe it's 2 months worth of work. We really have like no clue when that bill is coming, and it just came today, so that's why I'm bringing it up. But you know, I have the actual matter of fact bills, so gas, electric, mortgage, life insurance, our insurance, our, we have some money slated for gas. We don't have any we own our 2 cars, so those payments, we don't have payments for car payments, but we do have to have a certain amount of money put aside for gas each month. We don't really travel that much, so it's really not that high. But you know, we have like $50 a month allocated towards our pet because he's a big dog and he needs food. We know every month we have to have this much money set aside for these bills. And those are the ones that go on my bill page. Now, here's the horrible part about my life. As an independent writer, blogger, I have no idea how much money I make every month. And so budgeting becomes really difficult when you really don't know what you're earning. So for me, Q1 is always particularly slow. And so, you know, so far I've made 80% of my bills. I have covered them, earned, not received. I have earned this month 80% of my bills according to me writing everything down. And you know, so that's great, and you know, like that's something that I'm really happy about since it's only January 10th. That's highly unusual for this month. For this month, I normally am really praying to Jesus and struggling because Q1 is very, very slow. All budgets are really high. Q4 for online writers and, you know, brands want to work with you in Q4. That's where they're trying to empty their pockets. That's when they've sort of mismanaged their money and, oh my gosh, we have $50,000 left in our budget. Let's hire 10 writers to write about our products. January 1 is a lot slower for us and for me in my industry, but so far so good. I have, I'm on the right path to be okay this month. And my husband obviously as well is participating in that. He also is involved in this. He's also an online writer who also doesn't have a normal budget, which makes this very stressful, I have to admit. But we have different streams of income, as everybody should. So we own commercial property. We do YouTube. YouTube is literally like 1/20th of my salary. I mean, I'm hoping to change that this year by doing a lot more videos, of course. I just created a column this week for eBay because I figured it might be fun to try to get back into that game to try to cover some of my bills, and that's how I like to look at things. So I put stuff on eBay up a few days ago and I've already sold $130 and it's already been mailed out. So this is money that's actually in my account already. So $130 almost pays for my gas bill for the month. And that's how I like to look at things. So eBay is definitely a column that I'm going to be working on, and I'll talk about goals in a minute, but we'll just get there. I'll flip up. And then I have this like little post-it note where I keep a running tab of how much money earned coming in. So if you want to do this, you can. I started doing this for me for personal reasons. I have 2 columns, so every week they give you a week per week view of the month of January, and then I have a budget for my food and a budget for everything else. And when I say everything else, I literally mean everything else. I had to go to the doctor because I'm having horrible breathing issues. I probably have paused this video 20 times to catch my breath. I literally cannot breathe. This has been 2.5 weeks of me having a big asthmatic issue here. I have steroids, I have pumps, I have Singulair, I have all types of things going on in my house right now, and I need to go I need to go to a pulmonologist. I went to urgent care and it's not enough, but this week I also went to my neurologist. I went to my migraine doctor, and my copay for that was $70. And so the $70 had to come out of my other column, which is basically everything else in our life. So we have our grocery column, which is $125 for a family of 5. I know most people do it. I think that is on average what people do. Or maybe they do $100 a person on the internet. But like, I live on Long Island in New York, so this is the best I could do right now. I used to spend $300 a week. So believe me when I say that this is a lot less than what I used to do. But my other column is everything else. Everything else. It is emergency doctor visits, which I'm gonna go to a pulmonologist in a few days, so that's another $70. It's all the medicine that's waiting for me at Target. It's my son just went to a birthday party today, and the child wanted a donation to charity, so we donated $35 to Make-A-Wish Foundation, and so that's part of my other column. You know, I bought this planner. This was $18.99 and change. $18.99. My husband had to go into the city to do a work event, and the train ride was $18.50. All these little things add up during your week. And so that's part of our other column. And so $250 for me is what I give myself for all the envelopes. So a lot of people online, you watch them and they're like, this is my gas envelope, this is my cat envelope, this is my, I don't even know, envelope. Like, I see these envelope things and I get hives because I couldn't personally manage that. Like, that's beyond me right now. Week 1 in budgeting, me sitting in my pajamas without a bra, watching these videos at night on YouTube. I can't handle that. That is so overwhelming for me that it just shuts me down. I won't do it. I won't do it if you're expecting me to have 45 envelopes for sinking funds or slinking funds. I don't even know what I'm saying, guys. For me, it's other. So I have my groceries and I have my other, and I'm golden right now. Will I adjust to the proper way? Maybe, but not right now. Right now it's week 1 and I'm okay. Like, I am okay right now. So this, I had an expense page, but like I said, I adjusted over to the calendar view, and I'm very happy with that instead. So then I have an overall finance tracker overview page, and this pretty much shows what you have owed and what you have saved. And it's gonna change every month ever so slightly. So, I mean, we only have 2 bills. So a lot of people have, you know, like a lot of credit card bills, and then you can do that snowball thing where you're like, pay the lowest one down first, then work on the second one, and then you have like 18 bills and you're working down that list. And that must feel so rewarding. But for us, we have no credit card bills and we have no car payments. We have a mortgage payment bill, obviously, and then we have a big loan off of the house that was made. So we have like 2 loans basically off the house, I guess is how you want to say it. So we have like our mortgage payment, and then we have another house payment. So we have 2 payments. And my goal, so the reason why I started doing this is because I want to get rid of the second house payment. The second house payment is, it's pretty overwhelming. And, you know, that was made from just silly mistakes, and we thought we were gonna do a lot. We thought we were going to build out our house. I mean, there were just so many things that were supposed to happen that didn't happen, and then the money got misused, and here we are. So, so that's my goal. That's why I'm starting this. We have to break down that second nut. So I only have 2 lines, but my 2 lines are huge. Like, my mortgage is huge. I mean, it's not huge, but it's a big number. It's obviously a pretty big number. And then I have a HELOC, which I would like to also cut down. On this page, I also note our 401k balances and our emergency fund cash reserve, which we have in the house. So I just like to have those things, again, just to have a running total of these numbers. Now, on this page, I also have wins. So every month I want to, I'm just gonna go like this. I want to note our wins because our wins are really important to talk about. And so this month, after listening to Dave Ramsey, I started an IRA for myself that automatically deducts $100 out of our bank account and goes in my name, $100 a month. And he, you know, I should have been doing this all the while, but you start when you start, and so I started this month. So as of January 2020, my win is I started putting away $100 a month. And according to his theory, you really shouldn't start doing that until you save your debt. Well, the way that I am justifying that is I have switched from Starbucks to Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm saving well over $1 a day. And I am cutting cable. So we're doing a few things during the month that is saving us the $100. And I don't mind putting that towards the IRA. And there's also other things as a blogger that I can do to quickly make this money. There's companies that if I retweet a tweet, I'll get $40, or, you know, there's little projects like that that if I'm just really proactive, I can pick up quick money like that. And so I have decided in 2020 that every morning I will go into these websites and just look for that type of active work, whereas most people will turn it down because it's $25 or it's $40, and to them that's just not worth the effort. But for me, the $25 and the $40 is my $100 IRA contribution, and that's all I'm looking to do. I'm looking to justify that expense for the month, where technically I really shouldn't be investing right now. I really should be going towards putting down money towards my debt, but I'm doing it, and that's just the end of the story. I'm not even talking twice about it. It happened, and it's happening. Okay. Last but not least, this is the last page of the planner for January, because I think you get 5 pages a month. And, oh, actually, yeah, that's 6 pages a month. That's funny. I didn't use the last page. This page, the second to last page, I put my goals and my business expenses. So these are business expenses that I just didn't know in the beginning of the month. So for example, we had to pay our server. I forgot about that. It was $188. I have a Teachable account that was $20. I mean, these are things that happen on autopay that you just don't remember. So as these expenses come in, I'm writing them down and I'm getting a better picture of my overall state. And I wouldn't know this if I didn't do this. So this is a really good project for anybody to take, even if you don't necessarily want to get on a budget. It's just almost important for you to do this just to see how much you spend. Like, how much money do you spend on your work at home business? Would you even know? Right now, I'm at $208 and I'm just waiting for more stuff to come in. So my goals, these are the goals that I want to hit for February. So these are the things that are really important for us to try to finalize. Okay, so I want to cancel cable. We've already called the company. It's about $100 less a month, and we already paid for Netflix. I got Hulu on Black Friday for $1.99. I think we're good. Like, I think we're all set with that, and we don't need our phone. Like, it's just like, it's just fine. I actually don't care. We don't even watch regular television. Our children don't watch television. It really doesn't matter. We're on a 15-year mortgage, and we pay a lot of money a month. We pay $4,200 a month on our mortgage. Just our mortgage. I mean, forget about the rest of the bills. The rest of our bills are like $12,000 a month. But we pay $4,200 a month on our mortgage. And I understand why my husband did that. I understand why we refinanced to a 15-year. I understand he wanted to pay down that debt very aggressively. But being that we have this other huge lump that I would like to get rid of, I just don't think that we're in a state right now to be able to manage that debt and work at the level that we're working without losing our minds and continue to pay all our bills without living and doing absolutely nothing for the rest of our lives, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want to work like a crazy person and just pay my bills and never go out, never take a vacation, never do a single thing just because we want to pay our house off in 10 years or whatever. It's just not, that's not worth it to me. What's worth it to me right now is going back to a 30-year loan. And I know that feels like a disappointment to him. And we still have to talk about this because I feel like he really does not want to do this. But if we go back to a 30-year loan, I feel like we could save almost $2,000 a month in payments. Now, $2,000 less a month in payments is a huge sigh of relief, right? That's like a huge sigh of relief off of our backs. And then maybe in 5 years, when we're in a better position, we can talk about, refinancing again back to a 15. Let's talk about things when we're in a better state. I really just don't want to continue to overwork myself to the state of a frenzy in order to just live in this house and never leave. Like, that's just not my point of living. My point of living is not to pay for this house and pay my bills and pay my $600 a month life insurance. Like, all of our bills are just so high. And for me, I think we just have to do what we can to cut them. And I think refinancing our mortgage back to a 30, although it really stinks, and I do feel defeated in doing that, because we're really almost, it would be awful. It actually would be awful, but I don't know yet. I don't know. We just have to talk about it. I think I'd rather, maybe instead of definitively refinancing, I think I want to say, consider our options and talk about refinancing, because I would like to hear what our options are and how much lower we can get our mortgage payment a month if we did that for the time being, because truly I want to just get that second loan gone and just have this mortgage to pay with. I want to lower our monthly business taxes. So we pay automatically a salary to ourselves, and then every month we pay taxes ahead of time, so then when April comes around, we don't owe anything. So right now we're slated to pay $2,500 a month. Currently, I think that's a little bit too high. So I think what I want to do is I want to cut that in half. And we do this all ourselves. Like we have an accountant and she does our quarterlies. But for the month-to-month stuff, as far as payroll is concerned, because my husband and I are the only two people on our company, we do the month-to-month stuff, and so we submit that information. And so because we haven't technically paid ourselves yet in January, I think we could lower our salary for the year and then lower our taxes. So that is something that we're going to talk about, and I want to lower it from $2,500 to $1,250, because again, that would then really help us in the, how great would that be to just save $1,250 automatically each month, and then see how that all pans out in April. We have an alarm system that is a monthly alarm system, and we want to flip it over to the Ring, because the Ring is, I think it's like $200 a year, and our alarm system is 3 times that. So the only problem is we have a contract with our alarm system, and so we have to figure out how to get out of that alarm system contract. So my husband is talking to them right now, looking for a loophole, literally reading the contract, looking for a loophole to try to see if we can get out without paying however many years left we owe on the contract. But that would be really great. I mean, we would save a few $100s a year on that. And then the last thing that I want to do, so I have 5 goals for February, is I want to make it a just like a common thing that we are putting 5 things up a week online to sell. So the big ticket items that are unable to ship, he's going to be responsible for them to go on like Facebook Marketplace and Let It Go and all that stuff. Like, I'm not meeting people in parking lots and doing all of that. Like, he could do that with the furniture, and then I'll deal with putting the other stuff on eBay. So that's sort of our divide, but I have to get him on board to recognize that this is just not me only. Like, I'm not going to be the only person trying to do this like side hustle and make this extra money to clear, you know, like my real goal. We used to make about $1,500 to $2,000 a month on eBay, but I was super aggressive with it. Like, it wasn't just this fun thing that I would do. I did it hard. I would go to thrift stores and I would look for specific men's shirts, button-down shirts, and I would resell them. I mean, I was really in it. I would go to all the garage sales from my neighborhood, and I live in a pretty affluent town, and so people were selling Vineyard Vines and Polo and Lily Pulitzer dresses for like $8, and then I would just buy everything. I would literally buy everything and then resell it on eBay. That was for a long time. I did that for a really long time, and I actually enjoyed it. I have to be honest with you. I would buy textbooks. I was really big on getting textbooks from all the college kids that were leaving. I would go with my phone and I would scan the textbook and I would put it on Amazon. That's a whole other thing, guys. I mean, I was so heavy on that. It was just not even funny. I sold a lot of books on Amazon. If you could see my record on Amazon for selling used books, you would be shocked at how many books I sold in my in last year. I never talked about it because it was weird, you know, not weird, but it was just so like not part of my whole life. And then I would just, there was this program, I can't remember the program, but you would use the program to buy cheaper books on Amazon and then literally resell them on Amazon. I can't remember the program. So I paid for this program and I did that every day. I would go online every day. I would buy a book that was mispriced. It would come to me, I would resell it on Amazon, and I would turn a profit. And it was like a beautiful thing. And I did that forever. But I stopped doing that. I can't remember why I stopped doing that. Oh, because I wanted to redecorate. My kids' game room used to be my eBay room, and it was completely filled with everything that I was selling. And then finally I got tired of the clutter, and I was like, I have to let this go because they need a place to play. And then I just gave everything to the church that I was selling. I took a big loss at the end. So I bet you at the end, it was probably all a wash because all the inventory that I didn't sell, I ended up giving to the church, or I think the Lupus Society ended up coming and taking the rest. But whatever, I had fun doing it and we made some good money along the way. So you can make money on eBay. You just have to know what to sell and where to get it from. So that's my goal. So for me to say I want to be able to make $1,000 on eBay or whatever I'm trying to say, that's not impossible, is what I'm trying to say here. But it would be nice if he helped me too. And then the last column that I have on my income earned is YouTube. So I have 2 different channels. I have 3 different channels. One of them is shared with my partner. But I have 2 different channels that are my own. I have this one, and then I have a trailer review channel that is just simply absolutely for fun. It's about movie reviews, and I did it like crazy last year for 8 months, and then I stopped. I went to Europe. I went to the Baltic Sea, and I went to like Russia and Sweden and Switzerland, and we had like the best time. And then I came home and I didn't upload another video until Star Wars a week ago. So it's been like August until December. I completely forgot about that channel in its entirety. And just yesterday I said to myself, I have almost 3,000 followers on that channel, but there are 3,000 people that are really interested in movies. This is like a real core audience, and I enjoyed talking to them. I really love the movies. It's my absolute favorite hobby. There is no other hobby. I have no other hobby. And I used to like doing those videos and talking about what I thought the movie was going to be like, and if I liked the trailer, whether or not I would go see the movie, and you know, what I thought about it, if it was scary or not. And it was sort of a passion project for me, and I let it go. And so I decided this week, that I would add that to my column of revenue, because again, even if I just make $300-400 a month, I mean, that's my auto insurance. That's my my 401k contribution. That's my, whatever, my grocery bill. So there's so many things that these little small things that we can do can add up and pay. And I have to start thinking that way. I have to start thinking small. It is always the big picture, but it's also your small moves. And so, I just wanted to do this video in case you're somebody who is like me and was just watching people get their lives together and then never had the energy or the potential thought that you could do it too. So if you're in need of a process here, I mean, I told you exactly how I laid out my binder, my notebook, and hopefully, I mean, you can do the same. I really encourage you guys to give it a shot. And at the very least, you'll know where you stand. Know where you stand. Where do you spend the most money on? How much money do you spend eating out? How much money do you spend on clothes? How much money do your kids spend on after school activities? Where is your money dripping? That's what we're needing to find out. Like, even one more thing before I hang this up. My husband went to the city, like I said, he had a gig, and he paid to go in with the train. And when he was there, I was like, listen, I texted him, I said, how much was the cab from Penn Station to wherever you went? And he said, I just walked. He goes, I tried to save some money. It was like 15 blocks. I walked. And, I wouldn't have done that, I'm being really honest with you. But, I was like, that's how people save money right there. That's how you save money. This boy walked. I was like, wow, he walked. I can't believe he walked, because he's taking this seriously. Like, he really is taking this seriously. And that's one thing I will always credit my husband with. Besides, although I will say also, his friends will ask him right now to go out and have steak, and I'm sure he'll take this notebook and throw it right out the window. But on the little things, he is really good like that. Like, he wears holes in his shirts. He does not care. He does not care. He will wear the same 4 outfits every day for the rest of his life. It is what it is. This is how he is. But it's good for us when it comes to, he doesn't need anything. Birthdays around him, I want to kill him, because I'm like, what do you need? I don't need anything. You don't need one thing? I don't need one thing. And it's like 21 years of this. I'm like, how do you not need something in 21 years yet? You don't need one thing in 21 years, but that's how he is. So he is a good person to do this with. I will say he's not annoyed by me that I'm tracking. Like, he's not bothered by this, because he understands that not over our head has to go too. All right, this is a long video, guys. I'm sorry, but I hope it gave you some idea, inspiration, thought, guidance. I'll pop a link below to this notebook, and then eventually I will, once I finalize how I have the little, my printables all done, because I just want to get them they're still a little amateur, but I'm gonna try to pretty them up, and then I'll have them available if you guys are interested, because I do want it a certain way. I like this, but I have it. There's a lot of extra space that I ended up not using, and I just figured I could button it up a little bit. But that's all. Until next time.